today we're going to be talking NBA Finals. Huge Al Horford night tonight, as we saw. Some NFL talk, some more Deshaun Watson allegations. But unfortunately, Marion Barber passed away. I think it was Wednesday. We're shooting this video Thursday, so you'll see it Friday. But Marion Barber passed away. It's a tough loss. One of our brothers actually are close friends with Marion Barber's brother, so they actually have a wedding coming up soon. So prayers out to the Barber family. What were some of your thoughts about this happening?
Man, it's tragic. It seems like you're seeing it over and over again. Guys don't have outlets to really handle some of the mental side of things after the game. We us as football players take a lot of trauma to the head over and over again, especially with how physical of a runner he was for so many years. That can really take a toll on your brain. So you're seeing this happen over and over again. So I just hope this is, kind of the last straw with this. Just we need to get more more opportunities for these players to seek help after the game is over, specifically in the mental and spiritual aspects of their lives. So terrible loss. Definitely one of my favorite running backs to watch. One of the best running backs in his era.
Marshawn Lynch before Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, really. Same exact running style. He would really try to put the front of his helmet into your chest every time he ran the ball. And, he's very entertaining to watch. So obviously
he played with
our
the Bears
thoughts and
for
prayers
some time. Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers with him and his family and friends.
Yeah, and then another passing, Minnesota corner Jeff Gladney from TCU. That was another big one.
Damn, for real?
Yeah, this was a little earlier than the Marion Barber news, but it's just like, damn, time
man,
after
this
time,
is crazy.
these young athletes. It's sad, but shit. But on a more positive note, Jaden's having a daughter. We're breaking it on 6-Man Blitz. They haven't made the post yet, but congratulations, man. Another daughter to the family. Another great, beautiful daughter. You might be the best girl dad I know. I'm just gonna say it out there. I don't know a lot of girl
Hard
dads.
work pays off.
But yeah, definitely doing your thing, and I'm really excited to have another niece.
Yeah. Couldn't be more happy. Of course, the stereotypical thought that first comes to your head is, as a father, you want to have a son, you want to have a mini-me, but I'm blessed and truly happy to be a girl dad times 3. And I can't wait for the new one to come. October 31st is our due date. So Halloween, right. So one of my favorite holidays. So excited for that date to come.
Definitely can't wait. But let's get into some NBA Finals. Huge game tonight. We kind of practiced an episode, so to say. We had an episode recorded, but then we were like, NBA Finals today. We might as well shoot the episode, talk some. Because who knows? Al Horford might go out, be the leading scorer for the Celtics. Some shit might happen. And some record-breaking things, like they broke the record for 3-point shots in a game made or something like that.
Really?
You didn't see that? The number of threes they went that were made, the number of threes that were taken, like.
Oh, in the fourth quarter, I think they
were
shot
like 7 for
8.
7. Oh yeah, 7 for 8.
But, so yeah, and they dropped 40 in the fourth, and that was before the benches got cleared. So, damn. They're really carrying a style of basketball. Every playoff series they've been in has been low scoring. They get a run one quarter. That's all they really needed. Every playoff series they've had that one quarter where they just stopped the other team from scoring and just scored a bunch. And for this game, it just so happened to be in the fourth, and it wasn't even for the guys you would typically think of, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Both shot terrible from the field. So hats off to Al Horford. Shoot, he's on
Derek
pace to be
White
the
too.
Finals MVP.
He might get Finals MVP already. That's
I
something
mean,
we're gonna push
shoot,
right now. The narrative.
playoff performances been extremely impressive.
Yeah, a lot of guys on this Boston team have stepped up, and that's something we talked a little bit about in the pre-recording. We talked about role players, and that's going to play a huge factor in this series. When you got guys like even Pritchard, number 11 off Boston, was doing his part,
Yes.
playing good defense, making buckets.
Mm-hmm.
Derek White was huge in this game. 21. He was
Mm-hmm.
the guy that was getting a bucket.
Right.
And
All of them. All Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart had 18. Like,
Exactly, and then of course Al Horford, and then all of them shot extremely high clips. So when you have production like that, shoot, it's hard to beat, especially in the fourth when you are that dominant on the defensive end. And it was interesting to see how this matchup will play out. But as you can see, although Steph got to his shoot, Boston absolutely locked them down in the fourth.
yeah,
Which
looking at
I thought the Warriors were going to run away with it at the end of the third.
Looking at the first quarter too, Steph Curry having 6 threes, going nuts.
Oh, he was going crazy. He was shooting the
21 after the
lights
first
out.
quarter.
I was talking shit. I'm like, oh, he finna call it one early tonight. He finna call it one early. He trying to send them home in one game, but didn't score a damn point in the second. Got in foul trouble. Ended up with above 30 and had the game high, but damn.
It just,
It's
there was a
tough.
huge drop off from his performance in the first half and the second half. And that we saw it in the scores. The Celtics went 40-16 in the fourth quarter, and coming off like they were down double digits in the third. And just, I really like what the Celtics coach has been doing this postseason. It's been very impressive.
Yes.
Hasn't been getting the credit he deserves
At all. I mean, this guy is absolutely one of the best coaches in the NBA right now in his first year.
Definitely.
He's taken a team that's been at the cusp year over year, has missed because of what? Nothing has changed. If you could argue they got less talent and more production from a guy like Marcus Smart, who was constantly not looked at as your number one point guard. They shipped in Kyrie and then Kemba. Like all of along, Ime Udoka's like, we got our guy. And he showed what a decision like that can do. And Marcus Smart has not only gotten a Defensive Player of the Year, one of the few guards to ever do it, but is really the Draymond of the Celtics. He is the defensive identity for them, and he shoots the ball well. He is not nowhere near a negative player on the offensive side of the court. So he's a great player.
Definitely. No, I like what they've done with him, Marcus Smart, and Robert Williams. That dude, he can get out there and block every damn 3-pointer.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He's really active.
If Al Horford is going to shoot the three like he is, it's going to be tough for Golden State, because if they can have two bigs on the floor at all times, Golden State's best offense is their small ball. That's going to cause problems if they can have five guys that can switch everything and control the glass. So if Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown perform how they should, it's good. That's a tough matchup. Now, if this is an outlier, which he's shown throughout the playoffs this year that it isn't Al Horford, Boston could pull this away. I mean, damn, maybe the basketball player index was right.
Yeah, we did in the pre-recording. We talked basketball power index. 86% chance that the Celtics were going to win the finals. Warriors were at 14%. This was it's a surprise. We thought we got ball sacked. Well, I thought I got ball sacked. Check them out on Twitter. No free shout outs though, but we thought that was fake news. But apparently ESPN SportsCenter reposted it. And just looking at it now, they probably know something we don't. A lot of people are looking at
Clearly,
those odds and they're going back into bettings. Let me bet the Celtics. Let me put a lot of money down on Celtics to win this finals. But so does this game one change your prediction for this finals?
this game one has shattered my perception of what I thought basketball was. We just saw the top two players on the underdog team play absolutely horrendous and still win by double digits.
That just tells it right there.
So
Horford looked like the best player on the court.
If I was to tell you before the game, Steph is going to drop above 30. He's going to shoot 50% from three. And Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown aren't going to score above 15 points each. Well, would you say the Celtics don't have a chance in hell?
I'd say they were getting blown out.
And that was the case the whole game until Al Horford went into God mode and just said, fuck it, I'm going to take over. And I'm going to shoot the shit out the ball.
He had that look again. It's like he saw a flashback of Giannis dunking on him.
Stiff Giannis. Handsome Giannis. What?
He is voted number one sexiest NBA player in the league. Well, we could talk about that on a different podcast.
Yeah, it's a different podcast.
But now, so KD, Kyrie, they're not in the playoffs, but we're still going to talk about them. They're both.
And why is that?
Hey, because Celtics, Warriors, they were their former teams, right? Now looking at them being the X that, downgraded, the X that ain't doing shit with their life now kind of thing. Do you think they got a shot to have the success the Warriors and the Celtics are having in the coming years?
That's a tough question because they have a lot of question marks, and it's starting from the top all the way to the bottom. Top being Steve Nash, bottom being Ben Simmons. And then all throughout, whether it's Kyrie and KD or either or, and just in terms of, the thing about the Celtics and the Warriors, what they did was create a culture. And I know that's kind of cliche to say in today's world, oh, culture this, culture that. And coaches will try to brainwash you with that type of talk. But when you have it, it really can provide dividends for your organization and sustainable way to win. And you see that throughout any sport. So in order for the Nets to be consistently in the conversation, whether it's in the finals year after year, like Golden State has, they got to create a culture that provides that. And where that stems from is their leadership. And who can you point to for that?
None of them are leaders.
Exactly. So, and they all, Kyrie, KD, and Ben are just phenomenal talents. But when you don't got that guy that's leading the ship, and Draymond does it on the defensive end, Steph does it on the offensive end, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown offensively, Marcus Smart defensively, Al Horford being an OG, they got guys that are real pillars of not only basketball players, but character. And I'm not saying the Nets don't have that, but from in terms of leadership and camaraderie, they just built a nucleus that's built for success.
Can't argue with that. So it's looking like they won't be winning anything in the next coming years unless they build up that culture. But another one I wanted to talk about, saw it on the Colin Cowherd show. It brought some interesting thoughts to my mind. Now, Pelicans, they don't want to give a 5-year extension to Zion, but they want to bring him back. Now, you think, I know players, I'm all for players getting guaranteed money, but as a franchise, are you giving these players guaranteed money if there's no guarantee they're going to be on the court?
There's no guarantee you're getting a player like Zion ever again.
There's really not.
Yeah, I'm paying the man for 5 years. You know why? I'm the New Orleans Pelicans. Um, this league is driven by the players. Players are become great not through the draft but through free agency. And when you're a free agent, you hold all the chips if you're a superstar in this league. So when you have the opportunity to have one, why not? You ain't got nothing else to lose. You're literally starting from square one if you don't reinvest in him. And that's just my opinion. If it was a different market, of course I would not give him 5 years. But if we're looking at the Pelicans, they lost Chris Paul, they lost AD. Now you're going to lose Zion. So, like, come on now, we got to get it together.
They got a good culture, though. You talked about culture. I like what they had building this year.
And a healthy Zion on that roster, you don't think they beat the Suns?
I think they beat the Suns, yeah.
Exactly. With Booker being out?
That West is going to be next year. If a lot of guys are healthy, that West is going to be a lot different. The Warriors won't be able to coast to the West to the finals like they did this year.
No, I think they did have a easy route, and that's easier said than done. Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in these next couple games or so if the Warriors can bounce back, because they were in control of that game on both sides of the floor. You've seen throughout 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden it was like, if the Celtics just turn it on, if they do that for 2 quarters, they could sweep anybody.
You would have thought Mike Brown was coaching the second half instead of Steve Kerr.
Right. Mike Brown on his last strike. Sacramento gonna rescind that offer.
No, we gotta reconstruct this contract. You can't come in and coach after what you've done in the playoffs against the Grizzlies, all of that. But now some other news in the NFL. Let's transfer to the NFL. Now Deshaun Watson. It's 23 allegations right now. He's reached electric chair kind of spot. Looking at if you're the NFL, what do you do in this case? Do you suspend him the whole year? You give him a couple games? What do you do? Because if you give him a couple games, every woman in America is going to hate you.
That's true. And they've botched similar situations in the past. So I think what they're doing is what they can do is they're waiting. They gotta, he was proven innocent in terms of just on the legal side of things. Now he's going through the civil side of things. So you have to wait and see what happens. He definitely will get some type of suspension. Anytime you got 23 people telling on you for the same thing.
Hey,
come on now.
I know women
get some type of punishment.
Yeah, you got to. I know, some women be lying, but 23, come on now, that's too much. 23 is a little too much.
People lie,
yeah.
People lie.
That's a good answer, Jaden. That's a great answer. Get some brownie points to that. But so let's move on to hot take. Now, this is a new segment we're doing. Hot take of the week. We're going to be pushing that content. Look out for it on the Instagram and the Twitter. Shout outs. But so what is your hot take of this week? Could be anything. An example of my hot take that I posted on the YouTube was Chicago Bears going 10-7. It's a great hot take. So
no, it's not. That's a cold ass
little bold take.
Right. I think it's just a shot in the dark. That's a good question. Hot take. Chiefs missed the playoffs.
Oh.
And the reason I say that is the division's gotten better, and I don't think they have. Losing Tyreek Hill, and you'll see this, he's been able to erase a lot of mistakes Mahomes has made. You can't overthrow him. It was literally a match made in heaven with Mahomes, this arm, and Tyreek Hill's speed. With that being gone, I'm interested to see how the offense changes. They have a great coach and quarterback and weapons around them. But I just feel like last year they, especially in that Bengals game, it was like the reluctance to run the ball, and without Tyreek Hill, it's going to be tougher to if they can key on Travis Kelce solely. So with the additions the Chargers and the Raiders and the Broncos made, this division's only getting tougher. And you can't sit here and tell me all four of those teams are going to make the playoffs.
Not yeah, it's impossible. Well, it's not impossible.
Exactly.
But...
So I would say that would be my hot take for the week, and we'll save this clip to see if it pans out next season.
we'll see. We'll save the receipts, but that is a hot take I can get behind. Looking at that AFC, it's so stacked. A lot of divisions have a lot of playoff contenders in each division. This division that the Chiefs are in has 4. So looking at that, looking at the moves, the Raiders, you could easily say the Raiders, Chargers, and Broncos possibly are better teams than the Chiefs. You can make the argument.
They've made leaps and bounds, and the Chargers should have made the playoffs. The Raiders were a play away from going into OT with the Bengals. The Broncos were a quarterback away. I mean, good God, they have a great running back duo. They have a great receiving core, and great
defensively. They're
great young core on the defensive side of the ball. So they were a quarterback away, similar to the Rams. But I will say, interesting to see how the new quarterback as well as new head coach pans out there. But Russ is going to get back to doing Russ things and playing at a high level. So that's a tough division.
It's tough. Yeah, I mean, Russ has never had that much to work with offensively. Looking at the guys
exactly.
He got, Judy, Sutton, Patrick, Melvin Gordon.
2 running backs. Come on now.
Now, so I'm gonna get you with this last question. It's gonna be the last question. We'll end the show with this. Looked on Instagram, saw a post that said, "All right, time's clicking. Last drive of the game to win the game. Got Bobby Boucher at linebacker, Forrest Gump at running back. Now who's winning this drive?
Okay, it depends on the play that's called.
I mean, it's obviously going to be a run.
Obviously. If it's a foot race to the pylon, I'm taking Forrest.
Bobby Boucher, he was moving.
But if it's just power up the middle,
okay.
If Bobby Boucher get off the double T, well, there, the guard and the tackle, depending on the front, is going to bump to the mic. So depending on if he makes him miss that block or takes on the block and gets in the hole, I'm taking Bobby every day of the week. But if I'm calling the play, I'm sending him to the pylon. Hey, whether it's a flat route or a pitch, however it is, we race into the pylon.
Nah,
Forrest can run, boy.
They did say that in the scenario, Forrest Gump was talking about his mama. just to clear some things, to add some more extra.
Don't mean a damn thing. He doesn't. He ran across the whole U.S. of A. What are we talking about here?
He did. That's a fair point.
Now talking about a guy that ran a 4 flat.
If you haven't seen Forrest Gump, you got to go see it. If you haven't seen Waterboy, got to go see it, and then you could provide an opinion. But if you haven't seen those two, don't give an opinion on this. But
please
that's all I got for you guys today. Looking at, if you haven't checked out the Instagram, haven't checked out the Twitter, check it out, 6-Man Blitz. And this is on every podcast platform. Apple Podcasts, give us a 5 stars. If you haven't already, But that's all I got for you guys. As always, peace.